Yeah, we started the Mop Mop project, let's say around the beginning of 2000, and we were studying in Bologna. Actually, we met some years before, I guess was 1997 at university, so we were very into both. We were both into music and especially jazz music, and so we started just to hang out and play. And during that years, Bologna was also pretty cool because it was very full of musicians from all around Italy, and we had the opportunity like to play, yeah, every day. And then we started Mop Mop project, and we started the first production. So actually the first album is from 2005, and then we started, you know, touring, and of course we produced the second album for a German label. And yeah, myself and Alex, we work together since many years, so we know each other pretty good, I would say. And we love, you know, to perform. We love also to produce, and we love to try to mix, you know, the traditional elements from jazz, from Italian soundtracks from the 50s, 60s, even 70s, and tropical sound, the Afro-American music, and the club things, and we try to mix everything together.
Musicology we studied. We met at a lesson of anthropology, and it was very nice because we figured out that we had to work together since the first moments, because we had similar musical taste, kind of way of seeing the musical scene. It was on an anthropology lesson. There are a couple of meanings. It's like the seasons. In this season, I would say that Mop Mop was that's true. It was the name that was given in the bebop era to musicians that could only improvise on a chord, on one chord, not on many chords like it was in the bebop music. So it was kind of, they said, you are playing Mop Mop. This is the first meaning, but there are two others. For example?
Actually, I discovered later that was the name of a composition from one of my favorite drummers, Max Roach. And yeah, so I said, come on, we like it, sounds good. I mean, it's easy and sounds nice. And of course, then it has some more deep.
The third one is censored by the Italian politics. We could, but in fact, it's our way to be, our way to play psychedelic on a structure that hasn't so many harmonic changes. It's more up to the groove. Andrea is the big boss of the groove,
the big boss
of the band. We started we were a jazz band of students at the beginning time, no? We loved a lot the soundtracks of Italian movies of the 60s and 50s, 60s, 70s, and these soundtracks were a lot influenced by jazz influences, and so we tried to play in this way our melodies, our themes, and this was the first record, the 11th Pill.
We were, of course, try to find, you know, our way. So of course there was the love for that kind of music, but anyhow there was already a kind of, you know, to experiment new ways. So for example, there are some tracks where we play jazz music over an analog drum machine from the 70s. And like in the past few bands were used to do that, like Sly and the Family Stones were kind of the first, tried to build up, you know, funk groove over a very linear and easy beat, very analog. And so I had the idea to try to do the same but on jazz. So the album, let's say, it's quite traditional, but anyhow was already into the way to experiment something new. And this is what we try to do with the other album. The second and the third were much more into also the club, you know, the club music, the club scene. Till the last one, I Love Magic, is of course very organic. We use a lot of vintage analog equipment, you know, to reach a sound like it was in the 70s. So we did the real analog mix down. But of course, when we play live, we always try to see, you know, the people and feel the dance floor. Let's say like a good DJ is playing, he always has to know what's going on the dance floor. So we are all coming from the jazz scene, but we always keep in mind, you know, the dance floor feel. Jazz, I guess, is everywhere, because it's a mentality, you know, it's an approach. So our approach to the music, of course, is coming from jazz. But besides our music, there is tropical sounds, psychedelic, Afro, even some, let's say, techno mood. So it's real a big mixture of all that.
Normally, every creation has an inspiration where it comes from. So it could happen, it happened a lot of time that Andrea, for example, had a nice inspiration for a groove, or we listened to a record that was an inspiration for the sound, for example, or just in the production way to see which kind of sounds we can take to our songs. We develop it from a small motif and we build it up. Of course, nowadays we do as well with help of the computer. It helps us to edit some stuff. But our music is principally played live. For us, it's very important that this as well. Come si dice sporcizia?
Yeah, it has to be like so rough.
This roughness of playing live, not like machines, not like robots, but so and the songs develop. So after there is a big work by the main producer of the band.
Every show is every time different. Like we improvise a lot. So of course we have main structure. We have our, you know, songs, but every time we leave it, we know that something new can happen, and we like to follow that way, also because we know and we play together with the other guys since so many years. Then it's like, you know, when you have a conversation with a friend, you know each other.